What's up guys, Venom RB here, and today we're going to be taking a look at basically, in my personal opinion, the best drag car for the price, and that is the Corvette C6 ZR1. Now this car max upgraded is $195,500, which is really cheap, but it can beat cars. Like, it can beat Aventador SVJs if you get the right launch. And the reason for that is because a lot of cars in the sport category, which this is in, have really low top speeds. But this car has a 208-ish mile an hour top speed, 207, 208 range. So because of that, it doesn't really suffer from, like, maxing out on speed like most cars do. It will hit top speed in track race, but it will hit it later on, because like a Hellcat in this game tops out about like 170 max upgraded, and yes, that accelerates faster, but this has a way better top speed. So now we're gonna test it out on some drag races. Alright, so here's a Supra right here. I'm sure most of you guys know that this is a pretty fast car, so let's drag race it and see who wins. So even in automatic mode, and I've swerved all over, as you can see, this car basically destroyed it. I'm guessing that is not maxed out on upgrades. Still very fast. Alrighty, so here's a server with some drag races going on. Now I'd recommend when racing any car to use semi-automatic, because that's when you can get it the best. But here we'll race against the C7 now. As you can see, not even close. They're way back there. Again, this car is really freaking fast. Alright, so here is this guy who now has a Ferrari pulled out. This is a very fast car. It's like 300 grand or something. And as you can see, he's way back there. Now he's going to start catching up because, you know, top speed difference, but as you can see, this car beat his car, which his car is max upgraded, and that car max out is probably around 600 grand, and this is under 200 grand, and it just beat him pretty easily. So now we're going up against a GTR. As you can see, no problems at all. He probably had a slow start, but still not even remotely close to this car. So, again, the reason this car is so fast is because of the fact that, you know, obviously it does have a higher top speed than most cars in its class. Like the GTR does top out at about 200, 202, something around that range. But this still is faster, so now I'll go into a few tips for using it, because if you don't know really how to use it, you're kind of just going to crash and get nowhere. So kind of the most important thing about this car is you have to use it in semi-auto, because if it's in automatic, it shifts pretty early usually. But if you're in semi-automatic, you can bring it down to basically 7,000 RPM and then shift. That's when you want to shift, is at the very end. Otherwise, you're not making as much boost, and it's just not going to be as fast of a time. If you shift early, you know, just not as quick. The next thing you want to do before you start a race is, no matter what car you have, rev your car. On this one, it especially matters because of the fact that this car is twin turboed and supercharged. It has 20 PSI, so, you know, 20 pounds boost basically, or whatever that is. Something around those lines, I think, is what that is. So you basically just want to rev your car so you have the most amount of PSI possible, because that makes it just faster. It's that much more power going into the engine. And then the final trick basically is, I know a lot of people say don't, but leave traction control on. You can sometimes get good runs without traction control, like you'll turn it off. And it's not bad, it's just overall not as fast, and then at the end it does spin out sometimes. So you can get good times without traction control, but it doesn't seem to really improve it without just, you know, having traction control on. So I would recommend just leaving it on. It just makes it easier to control, especially if you're not on Xbox controller, because, you know, And then also when you start, you don't want to like throttle manage at all. Just hold down the controller or W key the whole time. It's pretty simple. So that's really all there is to using this car. It's not rocket science, but there are a few things. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Shout out to the guy who told me in the comment sections of one of my videos, I'll throw the comment up on screen, that it was one of the fastest. I've looked through basically all the other cars and would agree that this is the fastest car you can get for the price. Obviously, like, a expensive supercar will beat it. An SVJ, I've raced the SVJ and this, and they're very close in time. It really just depends on who gets the better launch. But, like, this won't beat a Venom or anything like that. It'll get smoked by an Agera. It's not that amazing, but compared to, like, other cars and for the price, it cannot be beat. It'll beat maxed out Supras and all of that. So anyways, thank you all for watching this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and I will see you all in the next one. Venom out.